I'm Michael Kamau. I work at Kenya Market Trust. I work as an intervention specialist in agricultural inputs, specializing in soil health management. I got involved at the VIFAA program at the beginning through the Ministry of Agriculture, whom we've had worked with in the fertilizer platform as we were launching the Kenya Fertilizer Roundtable. I was part of the people who participated in the pre-launch survey. I was involved in the core design workshop and as part of the participants representing the development world. My biggest interest was on the fertilizer consumption, that is at the national level and also at the farmer level. Initially, what we used to do is to launch studies. We could also do just some scoping work where we talk to the various market actors and being able to gauge how is the market performing. Currently, we are doing a study on our performance in the crop-specific fertilizer market, and I try to analyze the information. If you don't have the resources maybe to carry out the research and the work, you can only rely on secondary data that you have to analyze. We look at transforming the market, and one way to gauge whether the market is moving in the right direction in case of our work at Kenya Market Trust is to see how is the mix, how are various fertilizer brands, how are fertilizer getting accepted. Are we moving from the traditional market where we only had the conventional fertilizers, and are we getting more of the crop-specific fertilizer getting into the market or specialty fertilizer? So we have the historical data. Maybe if we are able to gauge where were we 3 or 2 years ago and where are we currently, gauging on how is the market performing in reaction to our interventions. If you're able to get all these information, you're able to make decision on whether your intervention areas are having an impact. One is that you're able to see which area are you doing good. Is the market improving? Is the market getting transformed? The other area that as you're doing the transformation, because you're able to get what are the market prices at the various towns or various regions across the country, you'll be able to know, are the farmer also benefiting from this variety? As competition is increasing, what is the indication in terms of price? So you're able to get decision at the macro level and also the micro level, where you're able to compare what is happening at closer to the farmers and what is happening at the national scale. The price to me is usually maybe it's not very key to us. The only indicator that we get maybe from price is how competitive the market is and how the market is performing. But the national fertilizer, like what is the share of the subsidy going down, and also what is the mix of the fertilizer that are available to the market. That's a good indicator for me on the growth and the transformation of the fertilizer market. Because if the market is only very linear in terms of products available to the farmer, it means that we are not moving from the conventional fertilizer. So the most important to me will be the national data. What segment is subsidy, because that's more on policy issues. What segment is crop-specific fertilizer or brands? What percentage are we getting as conventional fertilizer? So that is very key to us. My biggest interest was on the fertilizer consumption, that is at the national level and also at the farmer level. We work at 2 levels. We work with the government, that is in policy influence, and the other place that we work in is with the private sector, trying to incentivize them to be more focused on the farmers' need. And one area that we are working on currently is to see, can they be able to sell more crop-specific or soil-specific fertilizers instead of having that blanket recommendation. But ultimately, the people that we target to see is the benefit of the smallholder farmer. Because what we realized is that some of these specialty fertilizers were for a very long time only available to the large-scale farmers and the medium-scale farmers. But if this can now be availed to the smallholder farmers, we are able to improve their productivity. So we intervene at two levels, the policymaker level and also at the private sector companies. But ultimately, our aim is to see the farmers benefiting. If you look at the data, the key importance of data is to make important decisions at all levels. The government will make a decision on what is appropriate for what region. If you have the historical data, we'll see whether that has had an impact on the prices. And also looking at the data, you'll be able to see what are the margins that the private sector is getting, because it's open data. You will be able to see what are they buying and what are the other cost build-up. And if you look at the farmer level, they will be able to know what is available. Is it broadening the choice? And also, if you look at the yield data, if farmers are using more of crop-specific fertilizer, more of balanced nutrition fertilizer, is it also reflecting in terms of yield growth year in, year out? So that will be very important at all levels. The whole system will always benefit from the data. What we do as KMT, and that has been our aspiration, is to see the supply chain working and working smoothly, where the farmers are getting the fertilizer that they need. The private sector are also getting tailor-made products that are meeting the farmers' need. And when I talk about the farmers' need, is in consideration of the crops they are growing, the soil that they are farming in, and also the geographical areas that they are in, what is the yield potential, so that they're able to give clear information to the farmer on what they need. So that whole system need to work properly, where the government has proper policies, the private sector are driving appropriate fertilizers, and also information on how to use. And if you look at the rivers, with that is that the income will also be able to rise. Not only the income that is going to rise, as a country, we are going to be more food secure, and also our production will increase as a nation, and then we'll not rely more on the imports. So our food deficit as a country will decrease.